Hi guys, crazy story. On the 16th of January 2024, so this year, on a Tuesday, it was just last week, I had woken up at 2 a.m. just randomly. And when I woke up at that time, I knew, okay, God probably wants me to pray, and that's why He's waking me at that time. Because it's not every time that I just randomly wake up at 2 a.m. So I woke up and I made a I said a short prayer. I was like, okay, God, please protect us. And if perhaps you have a word for me, please speak to me. And then I was like, okay, I don't know how to just sit and wait for God to speak to me, just sit there in the darkness. I knew I was going to fall back to asleep, or my mind will just drift away, one of those two. So I decided, okay, let me just scroll on TikTok, and I told God, okay, I'm still here. I'm not going to sleep. Let me just wait for you to speak to me. Like, I'm still here. You can just speak to me. So I decided to check up something on TikTok, not scrolling at all. I just wanted to check something on my profile. And then I went on to YouTube, and I also wanted to check on something on the app. So I was scrolling, and then all of a sudden I had a cat meowing, and then another cat, and then another cat, and it felt like that more and more cats were appearing. It sounded like more and more cats were appearing and gathering beneath our house. And rarely do we hear cats meowing like that. And our neighbors have cats, but they are not so close neighbors. So I felt like they had come close to where we were, close to the house. And when I heard that, I was a little bit terrified, so I switched off my phone and was gonna cover my head. So immediately I covered my head. I had my earring so loudly, it was like, and immediately I knew that God wanted me to wake up and pray, wake up and start praying immediately. I was a little bit terrified, but I knew that I had to do it. I knew I had to do it because I knew the other people in the house were sleeping, and I knew that fear wouldn't really help me at all. Because what if it was something crazy? What if something crazy happened because of my ignorance? So I immediately woke up and I started praying. My first thought was to say the Our Father prayer, because it was the prayer given unto us by Jesus in the book of Matthew. So I started by saying that prayer, and when I had finished, I realized that there was still a few cats now, still meowing. And I was still a little bit terrified. So I decided, okay, let me go into canceling and rebuking, go into deeper warfare. So immediately I started canceling and rebuking the demonic assignments against our lives, against my home, against my life. I felt the cats go away. I felt the meowing stop. And the fear had already started going on. The fear that I had started going away. And I've had an experience with the ringing ear before, so this wasn't new to me. I've had it before. So every single time I went into counseling and rebuking, the ear stopped, the ringing ear stopped, and I felt peace. So this was like another experience that I was having. So the meowing stopped, the fear stopped, but I still felt like I needed to go into deeper prayer. And by the time that I was done, into warfare prayer now, and by the time that I was done, it was 3:20 a.m. So, and I was like, okay, so what people say about 3 a.m. being a crazy hour, it's true. And I felt it and I experienced it for myself. And funny thing, for a little while, a day or two, I had stopped going into warfare prayer whenever I woke up at 3 a.m. because I came across this lady on YouTube who talked about when you wake up at 3 to 5 a.m., people shouldn't really be going into warfare prayer. Instead, you should be listening to, seeking God to hear from Him what He has for you. And so I was like, okay, let me just try this out. So I decided to try it out for a day or two, I believe so. And so I never woke up at that time at around 3 a.m. I was like, I will allow God to just put myself in a position to hear from God, rather through dreams, through hearing Him audibly. But on that specific day, on the 16th of January, just this month, I had that and was like, okay, yeah, what people really say about 3 a.m. being, and I think God, it felt like what I was waiting to hear from God, it happened. It felt like, okay, what I really wanted to hear from God is that He kept me awake so that I could pray. He had me wake up so that I could pray, and it felt good afterwards. It was a little bit terrifying in the beginning, but it all was okay, and I believe that God protected us and defended me. And the reason that I started with the Our Father prayer is because I wanted to grab my Bible and read the prayers from the book of Psalms. I really love reading, praying through the book of Psalms, as well as adding my prayers on top, my own personal prayers. So that is what happened, and I have so many other crazy stories, so many other encounters that I've had with God, with such crazy encounters. If you'd like to listen to more, please tune in. I'll be releasing more and more crazy encounters that I've had. So there it is. Thank you.